Good morning and welcome aboard. This is Trade Along Live with Saul. We're here every trading day, focused on the S&P 500 E-mini. In this session, you'll be trading along with Saul from the hours of 9:30 to about 11:30, looking to do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, and then be finished for the day. Price action trading is the methodology here. If you have a methodology, that's great. If you need one, let us know. Put up an S&P 500 E-mini chart. If you don't have one, ask. If you need the link, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. The website is tradealongtradingacademy.com, tradealongtradingacademy.com. Do your research. Get yourself up on what the opportunities are and what the offers are. Saul has a great offer right now, which is a discounted offer for this service from a subscription point of view. Make sure that you are up to date and signed up. This is a self-policing opportunity for you. So review your status and make sure that you're set up properly. We have individuals that are part of Saul's mentoring and his training in here today. They're welcome every day. Saul takes them into private class. He whips them around, adds in his price action trading strategy, how to set his proprietary scalping levels, and he teaches them the entries, exits, and stops in and around those levels. So let's talk about the format here and the opportunity. The format is Zoom. It's a Trade Along Live session in Zoom, a Zoom webinar. Saul is your host, a 25-year veteran of the trading pits. He's actively scalping and at risk, utilizing his price action trading strategy. Saul's going to be delivering in this service, and he does on a daily basis, his proprietary scalping levels and zones as a toolkit for this morning's session, a discipline. So be prepared to write those levels down when he gives them out. Pay attention to what happens at those levels. Very important for Saul today. Could be very important for you today to help you bridge the gap from making money or not making money today. Everything we do is for educational purposes only. Nothing's been taken as direct trading or investment advice. Again, check out our website, tradealongtradingacademy.com. Do your research on what the opportunities are here for you as an individual trader. Trading is a contact sport. It's very risky. It's also very rewarding if you can pull it off. And we're here to help you do that. So we're going to start out the day by Saul popping in shortly. He's going to give out this morning's levels. He's going to give you a pivot, other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. Again, write it down. Load them into your software. Write them down. Load it into your software. You might get 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 on the top. Same on the bottom. He calls them support and resistance. These become the key areas, the key levels for this morning's trade for Saul. He believes, and you could quite frankly believe yourself as you are here and you're part of this service on a daily basis, that these levels can be a real leg up for this morning's trade. In other words, a trading advantage to you. Saul already knows there's a trading advantage to him. So be prepared to write them down. Go through the morning session with Saul. He is your trade along partner in this session. He is here as a guide based on the action of price during this morning session as it relates to the opportunity to bank money. Again, this is educational purposes only. Nothing's been taken as direct trading or investment advice. And if you like what we're doing here, again, tell your friends. This is a subscription service, so don't dawdle. Make sure you're paid. I'll send it out to everybody again. Actually, I can do that in about a minute because I've already posted it once. But what happens is it doesn't show up in the chat area. Hey, Julio, how are you? Good morning. Philip. Hey, Glenn, how are you? Carl, good morning. Don't think I've missed anybody yet. Sometimes we get some last minute Louis coming in that are not paid and they just want to sort of drift in. We kicked a bunch of those out yesterday. If you get kicked out, you go into Zoom prison. It's no fun. You have to be released, and we don't release you that easy. Want to make sure everybody's doing the right thing. Everybody should be doing the right thing, pulling their own weight. Remember, information is not free. Actually, there's a lot of information that's free. We know that. Good information is not free. There's a lot of information that takes up our bandwidth, but most of the time it's not worth a damn. Hey, Zerho, welcome. Good morning. Okay, I just sent that out to everybody again. Again, if you're coming in, tradealonglive.com. Come into Zoom. We're here every day, slugging it out. Trading's a lot better when you know what you're doing. Trading's a lot better when you see a profit at the end of the trading morning against your seat fee, your commissions. You know, 500 to 1,000 a day is I think it's a pretty good target. You know, raising your contract size after you're good at it is, in my opinion, the way to go. If anybody needs trading education, you want to work with Saul, you need his help. Saul's available for private trading education. He calls it mentoring and training because he mentors you and then he trains you as you come into this Trade Along Live session. It's a great opportunity for you. So again, be prepared to write the levels down. Saul is your Trade Along partner for the morning session in the service. This is a subscription. Make sure you're signed up for it. Hey, Pat, how are you today? Hey, Anand. Good morning. Ding dong. Coming up to the bell. Either you know what you're doing or you don't. Ask for help. If you don't,
all right, good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me all right? Let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 44.68. 44.68. Resistance above at 74, 81, 89, 4,500. Support below at 60, 53, 45, 31. Pivot 68, support 60, 53, 45, 31. Resistance on the upside at 74, 81, 89, and 4,500. All right, the market here got itself in a little bit of a overnight range, consolidating here a little bit after a very nice big rally here over the last week or so. And now we're just kind of consolidating here, trying to see what direction this market wants to go next. We don't know. All we do is trade the opportunities that the market presents us, and then we go from there. If anybody have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area. We are trading mini S&Ps here, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the price action opportunities that are there, in addition to the levels we just gave out these days, at least At this moment, we're probably looking for 2 to 3 point rotations on our profit targets and stops. That's what we are looking at these days, especially given the volatility that's in the market, or at least have been taking a little bit of volatility out of the market, as the market here has been very, very busy over the last couple of weeks with the war and everything, and the market has absorbed all that information and trying to figure out what direction it wants to go from here. So, as such, the market, the volatility has kind of settled a little bit and slowed down, and now we're just sidewinding here for, well, yesterday was a little bit of a profit taken day, as the market, like I said, it's been rallying very nicely, got all the way up to the 4,500 area handle, and now we're just kind of trading sideways today, and we'll see what happens, right? We shall see what happens. Every day is a new day, as you can imagine. Yesterday we started out to the downside and then started rotating back up, so a little bit of opportunities there. Again, if you're just with us for the first time, we are trading mini S&Ps, and if you look at the chat box area, you will find the levels that we're going to use as a guide to the day, and they're there to help us stay focused and focus on areas that we feel the market might give us an opportunity to scalp and try to make a little bit of profit on these rotations against these areas. We're looking, like I said, 2 to 3 points, but sometimes if you trade multiple contracts and if you get in a nice area and the market rotates very nicely for us, you can probably take a lot more than 2 or 3 points. We've been doing that lately, recently. But again, every day is a new day, and no, not one day is the same, and we trade them accordingly. All right, coming down here to the 60 area. Again, whatever the situation is, make sure you keep your stops in place. We're not going to love any trade we put on, obviously. And that way we keep ourselves out of trouble. That's the objective here more than anything else, is stay out of trouble. And always look for the next opportunity, no matter what. That's what we're trying to do here on an everyday basis. I'm kind of testing this 60 area here. Let's see if there's any numbers coming out this morning. Let's see. We had initial claims already come out. Durable goods come out. We have 8:45, so in about 10 minutes here. We have the PMI composite, and then we have nothing at the top of the hour, but we do have a Fed speak here at the top of the hour. So then another Fed speak at 10. So a small number, well, it used to be a bigger number, but small number coming out here at 8:45 in about 8 minutes here, as the market coming down here a little bit. Really running away from anybody or anything. So see what it wants to do. Next level of support we have is down at 53. All right, we're just kind of hanging on these lows over here, kind of going nowhere fast. Again, if you remember, if you're keep your stops in place, we're not loving any trade here, and then always look for the next opportunity. Next support level we have is down at the 53 area. Again, remember we do have a number coming out here in about 6 minutes. Let's see here. The energy war between Russia and the West is heating up after Putin demanded that natural gas sold to unfriendly countries to be paid in rubles. The Russian currency gained 7% against the dollar immediately after the announcement, paring its year-to-date losses to just 23%. While Dutch gas futures reignited a wild rally, unfriendly nations accounted for 70%, or about $69 billion of Russian exports in 2021. All right. Just again, if we're just kind of hanging around this 60 area here, if you still have it, maybe exit or still keep looking for. Again, the market is definitely slowed down. It's not as whipping around. So if you did hold on to it, just kind of look for this, scratch some of them. If not, then just wait for the 53 or on the upside. Right now, we got resistance between 68 and 70. The VIX, as we see here, is a 23 handle. It's about right, I think, after yesterday's little rally. Break, I mean. Support level we got is 53 now. We got a number coming out here in about 4 minutes. Supply contracts will likely needed to be reworded to allow a switch in payments to rubles, but once those are reopened, all types of negotiations could take place. Short term, less volume, etc. Supply deals often have provisions like significant market price changes that can trigger renegotiations, but changing clauses of these agreements is often time consuming and hard. Putin has given the Russian central bank 1 week to come up with a way to shift to a new payment system, and ordered the gas company there to revise its contracts to accommodate the move. Market is giving us a little bit, rotating here a little bit again. If you held on, if you didn't, I totally understand. And we'll look for a next opportunity. While it's possible for Russia to devise new contracts that require ruble payments, it would demand that Western governments hold rubles in their central banks or buy them on the open market, which would be seen as skirting financial sanctions. Both sides would lose if gas stops flowing, with Putin missing out on cash for his failing domestic economy and the West needing to secure pricier supplies elsewhere. Putin may also be trying to chip away at the dollar dominance in the global trade, which could have long-term implications for America borrowing and finance costs. Coming back up here to the our pivot area. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 70 area, 74, sorry. Again, depending on how aggressive, you can see that it gets moments of volatility like we're getting right now. They tried to send it down to the downside, they couldn't send it down, and they're all running to the exit all at once. So that's what this little rally here, coming back up here to our pivot, see where it wants to go from here. And this number is going to be coming out here in about a minute or so be mindful of that. All right, so we have a little resistance around the 68 to 70 area, and zoomed right up there and then coming off here a little bit. So if you did jump in there a little bit for a little scalping opportunity, you're getting it right here. Again, it's just waiting for opportunities to present themselves. If you got stopped out on the 60 area, then get a nice rotation here against that little price action play that we had. 68 to 70 area was a good resistance area, and a little bit of a rotation to the downside here off of that trade. And now we have a number coming out here momentarily. See what that wants to do to us. Numbers out here, kind of neutral, kind of hanging around their pivot. Well, they break it down here a little bit. You just never know which way these numbers are going to come out, how the market reacts to them. We like to be flat when these numbers are released. Obviously, geopolitical situations have been overtaking most of the fundamentals these days. Seem to be just hanging around our pivot here. Got a little bit of resistance there around 70, like we talked about. Came on. Now we're gonna come down here to these lows. Next support level we have is down at the 53. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Any ideas or concepts that I might share with you as a taught experience. We are showing you in our education course how to find these areas, why they would work, or why we think they would work, how to keep your stops in place based on your risk tolerance, and how to maximize profits there based also on your All right, we're just kind of hanging around our pivot here. Just quiet trade this morning. You can tell overnight that they really didn't do much, and now we're just kind of sidewinding here a little bit. All right, so no other numbers coming out this morning. The yield on the 10 after yesterday's break. Yesterday they actually rallied a little bit in the afternoon, but they've come back here today. Is up to, depending on how you look at bond prices, are down. The yield is up to 236. So that continues to move in the direction of higher interest rates. But like I said yesterday, the market seems to kind of shrug all that news off. All right, we're just kind of hanging around our pivot area here, kind of going nowhere fast. All right, we're just kind of bouncing around here. This is what I like to call the no trade zone, only because it's not doing anything. Sometimes it's easy just to get caught up in wanting to trade the numbers because the screen is flickering around, but it's probably a good thing not to. All right, coming back up here to our pivot. Very, very quiet trade. We have, it's just, you can see here overnight, it's kind of staying the same. Can we repeat the levels in the chat again? Same kind of range we've been at most of the morning, I should say. Levels for you in the chat for those who might have missed them or didn't write them down. There it is. The next resistance, little resistance is up at the 74. Again, whatever the situation is, make sure you keep your stop in place. Something that's, and always look for the next opportunity. See, very, very choppy here. All right, they just bounced it up there, come flashing back down here again. Very, very choppy little trade. The yeah, I know only 30 stocks are traded. I don't think that's really a reopening of the Russian stock market. All right, we drifted quickly down to that 60-ish area that we initially thought we had a little support, and then flashed back up here to our pivot. A very, very little choppy little trade here. So be a little bit careful. I mean, like I said, you're going to guess here as to which way this thing is going. If you are trading a pivot, and maybe you're doing that, but it's kind of very, very slippery right now. Well, I mean, they gotta worry about propping up their army. I think they can do much propping up of other markets. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a little bit of trouble with making sure their army gets food and stuff that they need. Yeah, just again a little bit of a range here. Got down to the 60-ish area, coming back up here to 70. Next level of resistance on the upside we have is up here at 74. If it's a little bit too close, we got up to 72 before. If that's a little bit too close for you, then look at the. Again, not everybody has to trade every level just because we're up there. It depends how the market reacts prior to that. Sometimes if it gets a little bit too close to a level and we don't get involved or we don't get filled on it, then you might have to think about canceling that trade and look for the next opportunity. Again, anything I say is taught. We have an education course that deals with finding these opportunities, understanding why they would work, and training them according to your risk tolerance. We're just kind of hanging around that pivot here. Very, very sidewinding trade here. You can see here how it's just been going sideways for last most of the morning, and it continues to do that. Again, both sides of our pivot here, just kind of going nowhere fast. Got to be patient. Okay, now zooming back up. Just kind of going nowhere fast. Again, just be careful here. Not much going on. All right, quickly zooming up here to our 74 area. Zooming, is that like a new trading term? All right, coming up here to the 74 area. See what it wants to do up here. Again, it's too risky, or you don't like the price action prior to that, then just be patient. All right, just coming back here to the 74 again. If you don't like the price action, you don't like what it did, you want to get out, it's giving you a chance to get out. I mean, this is a little bit skittish here today. Kind of very tight little range. We do miss those quick moves all over the place. I did tell you we're going to be upset when the market kind of settles down and we're not moving around as fast anymore. We're just kind of hanging around 74, giving you choices. All right, next level of resistance we have is up at 81. Again, market to give you choices down there. It did rotate back down to the 74 if you don't like the price action. Give you a chance to get out of some. It's kept some if you wanted to. It's just not really doing much. All right, back here to the 74. All right. Not going anywhere fast here. Definitely just stuck in a little bit of range. I know it got up a little bit above the 74 and then it's floating back down here. A little support against the 68 pivot there. Yeah, if we get back down there, but not too excited about that either. As you can tell, I don't like little range trade here. And it's going on, but it is what it is. So we have no numbers coming out today. Kind of a quiet little trade here. All right, just kind of hanging now around the 74 area. A little support down at 68. All right, we're just kind of hanging around the 74 now. Okay, very, very quiet trade. Kind of staying in the same range we were at overnight for most of the night. It's kind of just flopping back and forth around that little range here. Nothing to get too excited about. Patience is important. Waiting for opportunities is important. And again, consolidating here a little bit after the rallies that the markets have had. Now it's coming back here and trying to figure out what it wants to do from here. All right, floating back and forth really quick here. Got right through the 68. Like I said, I wasn't really too excited about that level. All right, market coming all the way back down here. Again, all of a sudden you get this big rotation here. But again, like I said, there's not much. It's just a lot of chopping around here a little bit. All right, market got all of a sudden a little bit weak, staying below our pivot. Again, just all of a sudden this one bar decided to rotate here to the downside. Like I said, not surprising. Very, very skittish little market here, but basically staying in the same range we were at. All right, coming back up here to the 68 area. What a surprise. Very, very kind of going nowhere fast trade today. Again, we're in a very range-bound trade, so not too much to get too excited about. And market here consolidating here a little bit after a lot of busy trade going on the last the last month for sure with the war and situation. All right, we're just kind of here hanging on the low, staying below our pivot this time around. Let's see what it wants to do here. Again, we're just range bound. It's a very quiet trade. Not surprising, like I said, over the last 2 days, they've sucked out a little bit of the volatility out of the market.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. This is Trade Along Live with Saul. We're here trading days from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The afternoon sessions here are geared to Saul's mentoring and training service, where he takes a select group of traders under his wing, teaches them his methodology, how to set his proprietary scalping levels, and then utilizes this Trade Along Live session as a supplement to their learning as they're applying their entries, exits, and stops based on their newfound trading skill. If you'd like to be part of that, let us know. This service is a standalone service. It's called Trade Along Live with Saul. It's an educational only service. Saul starts the morning out by giving his scalping levels out, his scalping levels and zones. He gave them out this morning, went through the morning session. He had, if I can read it, it's in your chat area, 4468 was the pivot today. He had resistance at 74, 81, 89, and 45 even. Below we had 60, 53, 45, and 31. The concept here is Saul gives out his levels. Well, he sets his levels right around the cash open for validity purposes. They're called levels and zones because things can change based on the action of price. You go through the morning session with him, ask questions, interact. He is working both publicly and privately with his students that are part of his mentoring and his coursework. So again, this is a standalone service, and I sent it out earlier, but I'll send it out again. What happens is that it doesn't just populate when you pop in. So this is out to everybody. We ask you to self-police, or we'll police you ourselves. If you get exited, you can't come back. We want to make sure that everybody is here for the right reason. We give you a couple days as a guest, and we ask you to quickly roll over. We look for 100% participation. There's a lot that goes on here that's really important for traders, and that's why they keep coming back. And we like it, but we ask you to make sure that you are a subscriber to this service. Hey, Don, thank you for reposting the levels. If anybody has any questions, Alex, let me know. Greg, Ingrid, Martin, Yee. So make sure you self-police. We miss somebody and you're just dogging it in here. We do exit you by the exit that we have with feature that we have based on this webinar. You end up going into Zoom prison, which stinks. And then somebody has to go in and release you. You know, then we vote to figure out who's scamming us or not. We may let you back in, or individuals go to the website and they call. So don't be one of those. So make sure. Craig, I think you're signed up, right? Yeah, so welcome. You're welcome to come back. You know, people can self-police themselves. And we appreciate you letting us know. You know, what happens is we get a lot of people that come in. They're very interested in asking questions, interacting. You know, but when it comes to poning up a dollar, they're like sitting on their wallet. And we don't really feel good about that. And I'll tell you why. Is because if you can't pony up a buck, How are you going to trade? What's your risk profile? So sometimes, there's little telltales. I want to make sure everybody is pulling their own weight based on keeping the lights on, And it's so nominal that if you have to ask twice, you should just kick them out, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I'll be in the background if you need me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to have a trading consult, make sure you're signed up as a subscriber and ask. It will be well worth your while. It's funny, when you're trying something new or trying something that you've been trying for a while, it's just small little changes that make the difference between grinding it out to a positive area or just keep churning it into the what would I call it? I would call it quicksand. You're caught in quicksand and you can't get yourself out, and the more you try, the more you get buried. The more you get buried, sayonara, right? So the concept here is how to get on the right track and start to hit some singles, and then move yourself along. Yeah, so Greg, that would be found on his website. So it's Trade Along Trading Academy. Trade Along tradingacademy.com. Let me see if I have it in a link over here. It's self-explanatory. It's really Saul taking you under his wing and working with you like a batting coach. You know what I mean? You can certainly add in the fundamental too, but the idea is who's gonna help you as a batting coach. Let's see if this one works. And this is going out to everybody, so take a moment. I'd like to be able to put links in here and just have them up every day, as a standardized link that you can click on. They do so many updates with this Zoom that it surprises me that they don't have that already. Plus, when you go to try to cut and paste something, at least from our end, we have to take all the chat. We can't just take one piece of it and then just resend it out. Just strange, too. I think you can do more in a meeting versus the other way, But I would take a moment if you do sign up and you transition into a student of Saul's, a mentoree of Saul's, then we credit you back if it's within a month of what you signed up for. So let's say I would take the 400. That's what I would do. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Saul's mentoring and his training. I mentioned before, it's like a batting coach, or I think a batting coach is probably a really good analogy. I've used other analogies about golfing and professional gambling, but I think a batting coach is teaching you how to adjust and tweak what you're doing as you come in to strike the ball. And a lot of it has to do with doing it the right way and then consistently doing it that way, but also adjusting based on what's happening, based on the action of price, which, is the pitcher. So the concept of having somebody to be able to take you under their wing, concentrate on you as an individual, get to know you, and then help adjust and tweak you for the goal of doing better based on your entries, exits, and stops. Price action is, in my humble opinion, one of the last bastions of hope for traders after they go through the mill of standardized software, any platform, whether you're paying up for it or not. And that's my opinion. So you take a trader or an individual like yourself, and you have things that you're good at and things that you're bad at. And if you're not getting it done, or you'd like to get it done, then you have the opportunity to hire somebody to help you get better at it, identify your issues, and then help you based on your entries, exits, and stops. One of the keys and advantages of working with Saul is not only is he trading, not only is he a veteran of the trading pits in Chicago, but he is laying out key levels, a discipline right around the cash open that if you spend any time witnessing it, and it only takes a day or two, you'll see that Saul's levels are pretty darn good, but you'll see it for yourself. We don't have to tell you that. If you have any sense as a trader, you'll pick up on it. You either think that they're terrible or you think that they're good. Let's say they're good. Now you have a leg up over other traders. Then it's, what do you do with those levels? Do you go short or long, fade or momentum trade? And how do you handle it as the price action comes into that area? And that's a taught and learned and critiqued experience based on having somebody help you. Now think about it this way. Saul is also trading and scalping for his own trading account, utilizing his pre-mapped out levels. And when I say pre-mapped out, is he's setting them right around the cash open, and he's setting them in his software. He's setting his pivot and his other levels on top and bottom of the pivot, which I gave you a readout of. So if you didn't see him in the chat area, shame on you, because they're in there. He gives them out right around the cash open. If you came in late, that's fine. Then you can always ask for a repeat. You write them down your trading pad, and then you start to see if they're valid or not for your purposes. And if you want to make them your own, then you would take Saul's mentoring and his training. The idea of asking questions here and interacting is great for you because you're standing up on the shoulders of people that are currently doing it. I mean, Don is a great example. Don is an individual that traded before he met Saul and is trading after it, and he's lasted a long time, and he's adapting and working it on a daily basis, and he's got the temperament, the skill set, and the ability to ask questions and interact and also provide his input based on the action of price, and Saul appreciates that. It's good for him to be part of that world, to have interaction with people that know what they're doing and have a skill set and a discipline. And he's happy to have that interaction. For those that are not at that level yet, how are you going to get there? Who's going to teach you? Who's going to take you under their wing? Who's going to help you? And then you have this point, is that let's say you go through a trading morning. Saul goes through a trading morning, He's setting the levels. He's giving them out to you. Levels and zones. And now Saul may or may not take trades at those levels and zones based on the action of price. And now if you ask him a question about your trading, the action of price and those levels, he's in a much better position to give you a valid answer because he's in the mix. He's in the game. He has put himself out there. He has been affected by price change in and around those levels. So when he gives you an answer, he's giving you an answer that's, in my opinion, better, deeper, more honest because he's doing it. So, I mean, that's really what you're into and what the opportunity is for those that know the difference. And that's what we do every day. So check out the website, TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. It's very simple. You're buying Saul's time. You're buying Saul's effort, just like a batting coach. You're buying his time for a significant period of time. It lasts a year. Now, you'll pick up on it pretty quickly and you'll be able to exercise your craft. But the point is that he'll still be here for you as you're applying it over a significant period of time. This Trade Along Live service is the first stop on the station or on the train, first station stop. And we expect you to sign up. If you don't sign up, then we just give you the boot and you can go find somewhere else to hang out. That's fine. You know, that's like you dogging it and us reacting. You know, we don't want to do that. We want you to step up. We want you to be part of it. And we want you to be in charge of yourself. So anyway, so I'll be in the background if you need me. I'll look for you based on the sign up. You're coming in, TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com, website TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. And hope everybody had a great trading day today. And if you didn't, let us know and we'll look to help you. Thank you.